Aloha and welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Thank you for being here. I love you. Thank you. So, what does it mean to be present? What does it mean? Well, there's no one that can be present, there is just presence itself. There's awareness of these energetic fluctuations. There's awareness of reactions in the body to energetic fluctuations. There's an awareness of mental interpretations of energetic fluctuations, visual interpretations, all sorts of sensory interpretations. You know? Interpretations come as thought, images, reactions. Despite the interpretations, what's aware of all of this is unchanging presence. The only thing that makes someone feel like they're out of presence is taking thoughts as if they're reality, taking images as if they speak to reality. Images are not a demonstration of reality. They're a demonstration of thoughts that deny reality. See? So it's just something to experience, kind of like a show, like a movie. 10D, however you want to say it. It's made to feel real, be experienced as if it's reality, but it is not reality. Awareness is reality. And it's awareness, it's through awareness that all of these roles can be played. All of these sensations can apparently arise. It's through awareness that any interpretations are made. Let that just sit for a moment. What if there were no interpretations? And all there was what can be sensed in the body, through the body. Well, interpretations only stick around for as long as we find them interesting and necessary. Okay. And that, a lot of them are made just for drama, just for drama. Like something like, what do they think of me? Or just a thought that fantasizes about the self as an individual. These fantasies are interesting to the ego. Fantasy like, oh, it would be really bad if this happened, or it would be really good if this happened. See, nothing's happening. What appears to be happening, the apparent happening, is a demonstration of patterns of thought. It's just demonstrating what's believed. And the whole purpose of it is just to bring up a feeling, to bring up a feeling. Now, the ego's purpose of that feeling is to make it into something, as if it means something about a world that's real, a person that's real, and a world that's real. You could say your spirit's purpose for it, or the Holy Spirit's purpose for it, if that jives with you. Is to show love, to be who you are. And what does that mean? What does that mean to show love? Well, it's in the midst of an upset feeling, let's say, any kind of discomfort, frustration, even distraction. In the midst of any feeling of discomfort, it's just being met as it is, as the sensation that it is, not as if it means something. See? Giving it meaning is like withholding love. Could be said that love is unconditional attention. Just an embrace in the space for whatever's arising. Any hurt child within that comes up. Just whatever it is, just in meeting it. The sensation of it. Any idea that you've done it wrong. Meeting that too. It can't happen. It's not possible. You can't possibly be doing anything in the first place, so you're not capable of doing it wrong. That's not possible. What's happening is there's an unfolding of consciousness. It's being played out. Concepts that have been ignorantly adhered to over many generations are just being played out. And see, when they're not taken as if they're reality, even when they come in form, they can be healed through us. Through us. That reaction that arises, any reaction that arises, is just there to be met playfully, thankfully. It can't hurt anyone to experience a reaction. But the experience of a reaction could lead to illusions of harm when it's taken as meaningful. Give you an example. Say you have a job and you love your job. You love your job. And you hear that there's going to be layoffs. Okay? All of a sudden a fear arises. That's a reaction. Nothing has gone wrong. It's not possible. It's not possible. Either the job goes forward or they say you're laid off and something else happens. But nothing can go wrong. It's the idea that something could go wrong that causes fear. There's no circumstance, no situation to be in resistance of. All that resistance is an experience right now. See, that's an experience too. Say you feel really scared about losing your job. Say you feel really, really afraid. all the thoughts about how you'll pay different things and all this kind of stuff, that is not your responsibility at all. This is not your responsibility. Because, see, we're so taken care of. We're 100% taken care of. And according to the way we relate with sensations, big one being thought, that's the way our experience is manifesting forward. It's almost like you can tell the future. If there's worry right now and it's being taken as something that's meaningful, it's a setup for experiences that justify worry. Do you see? If the feeling of worry is just allowed to be a feeling, a sensation, an experience, then it's like asking for blessings, and whatever we ask for, we receive. Whatever we ask for. See, the thing about something like worry is it's asking for manifestations that justify that feeling if it's not met as it is. Only if it's not met as it is. So, feeling worried is not a problem. In fact, it's awesome. Because when that feeling of worry arises, it means something. It's not what you think it means. It's not like a feeling that's a premonition for what's to come. No, but we can make it into that. We can make it into that by buying into it. Then it will bring forth proof that worry is true. But on the other hand, worry can arise and be met as it is. As it is. There's a sensation. There's a sensation in the body. And you know what? It's a really good sensation. It's a really good feeling, but most people don't know it is a good feeling because they're afraid for the future. They believe in the fear. When fear is pain, basically. So when there's belief in fear, there's pain. It also manifests as physical pain. It makes it seem as if a sensation that's meant to be enjoyed is to be resisted. It's like the ego goes, let me get rid of this worry. What do I need to do to get rid of this worry? Maybe I need to hop on the computer and do all this stuff. It's like wasted energy is one way of putting that. Wasted energy. Now, you can't really waste energy, It's not so true to say it like that. But let's just say that everything that's being done through that energy of worry is meaningless. It's not making anything of value. It's not making anything that can increase joy. See? We are joy. Straight, pure, innocent, playful, joyous. But we've bought into some thoughts that make us serious. A lot of them. See, it takes the playfulness away. As soon as the playfulness is taken away, it's been taken serious. It's not serious. There's no such thing as serious. It's make-believe. It's make-believe stuff. Oh, this is serious. This disease can really get us. Not true. Everybody better watch out. There's a big flu season this year. It's just hilarious. No one's going to get the flu unless they want to get the flu. Want to get the flu. No, not wanting consciously. Oh, I think I'll get the flu. Give me the flu. No, but it's an ego device. It's unconsciously bought into ideas that there's a such thing as the flu, number one. Okay. But that's so at the surface, it's like right there at the surface, like obvious. Okay. There's a such thing as the flu is real. Okay. And you can catch it. All right. But the root of that is that there's a threat. There's a possibility of a threat. We are capable of being threatened. We're something that could possibly be threatened. These are falsehoods. These are total falsehoods. These falsehoods are what make the body appear real and vulnerable. And while the body appears vulnerable, it's an opportunity to dissolve that belief. So many opportunities. Because this whole manifestation, this whole dream is based on untruth. And it's going to end. The dream is going to end. It's not going on forever. Because basically the awareness comes that there is no need to hold this down, given what reality is. See? People who are afraid of losing their body, who are afraid of losing their lives, don't realize what reality is. There's no need for bodies. There's no need for them. We're perfectly able to communicate, play, enjoy, love, feel. Earth is meant to be heaven on earth. Without the concept of separation. And in fact, here's the thing, it is heaven on earth. Nothing's changed. It's the way it's always been. We've just painted a picture. It's like we've painted our concepts onto the projection. That's what makes it a perception. It's just meant for joy. And you can see that when things start arising, and then there's just a willingness like, okay, let me see. In that moment where it seems like everything I said is just gone. everything you heard here. Everything you've heard, you're just like, oh, that's so true. Now if I just remember it. See? Look, there's so many unseen aspects of yourself. You could say they're sort of like persons that are around you to help you. Unseen. Just in that moment, a simple heartfelt help me works wonders. I've seen it work wonders in my own mind. I've also heard from other people testimony. It's like when it seems like love is lost, so to speak, something really bad could happen. Oh no, this illness, whatever. And that's just met as it is. When that's just met as it is, could be very painful at first. there's a sort of a grieving period for what concepts were being held on to hold that energy in place. Pain is a good one for that, you know. When experiencing pain, you know, I've had the experience where this intense pain arises, and it's like, I know this is not because of this. You know, in one case, I was having a miscarriage, and it was like, I know this pain is not because of the miscarriage. That's impossible for it to be that. No, it's the mind. That's an attack of the mind. Let me see. And just being there within, let me see. Finding that, you know, kind of space and openness in the mind. And, you know, in being in that space, so to speak, just meeting everything and recognizing what's trying to come up and deceive. What's trying to identify pain as something that's caused by the body, by something that's occurring in the body. That's not possible. All pain comes from the mind. It's mind made. It's a mind made deception. And willingness to see. In the instance the pain got to its highest point, there was a flash, a recognition of all the kinds of thought patterns that were being unconsciously held here. And in that recognition, the pain instantly subsided in an instant and didn't come back. Instantly gone. And then there was a feeling of grievance for those patterns. Over a couple of days, there's like this sadness for the patterns. You know, it's like as you see them arising, like, oh, this meant this all this time, but it never really meant that. That's just something I made up. No wonder there was all that pain. See, it's recognizing what cause and effect really is. You know, the ego likes to say, what caused this? Like, say, the shooting that just happened recently. There was a school shooting. What caused this? Was it guns? Was it the president? Was it the FBI? What caused this? We need to get to the bottom of it. Well, that's never going to get to the bottom of it. Cause and effect are not what they seem. And a happy person is not going to go shoot up other people. Happy person isn't. What's a happy person? I mean, a happy person, for one, doesn't feel threatened. See, this whole thing is set up as if it's possible to be threatened. How's anyone going to act as a threat unless they feel threatened? See? It's all mental. It's all mental. And the healing is up to one of us because there's only one of us. There's only one of us here. What does it take? You know, it's just that it's just a meeting of that experience. You know, for me, the experience, just seeing some information about it on Facebook and then reading the news, and there's an experience, you know, we're experiencing with them, so to speak. You know, each body, each apparent body is really an energetic body. It's made of patterns of thought, changing, changing, changing all the time. And when we relate with one another, even when we just think about one another, even when we speak with one another, we're communicating. So, you know, without giving it a lot of thought or trying to micromanage anything or anything like that, there's a sensation that arises with the perception, with this experience of the news about it. We're very much connected. And in that instant where there's compassion for the energy field, for what's being sensed in the energy field, in the body's energy field, when there's compassion there, and compassion just comes with experiencing it. If there's resistance, experiencing the resistance. And soon you find yourself without resistance. As the resistance is being experienced, it plays itself out. If it's just allowed to be as it is, if it's not looked at as something wrong, it's something that's holding us back. See? If it's just allowed to be seen as it is. Oh, there's resistance. Oh, there's fear. Okay. And what's that's going into the fear? Look at what's chasing the fear. It's chasing the fearful thoughts. Oh no, what if? Oh, I better. Peace to all of that. Peace to all of it. Give it a deep breath. A deep breath and a deep belly laugh. Okay? Because nothing's happening. No one died. No one shot anyone. No one was born in the first place. See, this is all sentimentality. Oh, they're born, and then there's like the sentimental attachment, and then they die. They were not really born, though. It's all made in the mind. It's all made for loving. It's all made for loving. Each one that's been made in the mind is made for loving, is made for giving and receiving my love. See? There's no other love but your love. That's all. So every individual, apparent individual that arises in the experience is only there for giving and receiving your love. See? It's meeting ourselves. It's meeting ourselves in love. There's no one else. So to see and experience a situation where there's a killer and people who were apparently killed, and I understand that there's a lot of pain with that. I understand there's a lot of pain with attachment. I know. And this isn't meant to minimize that at all, just to point to what's true so that it doesn't have to keep happening. It actually doesn't. And with no one controlling anything, with no one making special laws, with no one doing away with guns. The guns will take care of themselves. They'll take totally care of themselves. It's like take care of the mind and everything else takes care of itself. See? So for me, when something like that arises, it's just a comfortable meeting. It's comfort that can't be described, meeting apparent uncomfort. Meeting apparent uncomfort. See? Nothing can go wrong. It's not possible. I witnessed one woman who experienced her son being murdered, and the murderer was on trial then, and so was his family. And when she got to speak to the murderer, she told him, I don't want you to feel guilty. You haven't done anything wrong. And she hugged him. See? And she explained that her son's death was ordained. It was ordained for this meeting in love. We don't need to perpetuate murderous thoughts. Where there's forgiveness, there's no murderous thoughts. See? The world's forgiveness, though, is identifying a so-called sin and going, okay, I forgive you, like that. But real forgiveness ends murderous thoughts, because it's an admission, so to speak, that nothing happened. Nothing actually happened. No one is guilty. No one is guilty. These structures of thoughts have gone through lifetime over lifetime, apparently abusing one another, apparently breaking boundaries, apparently causing harm to one another, back and forth, lifetime over after lifetime. The perpetrator comes back as the innocent. The innocent comes back as the perpetrator. It's like up to us how long we want to play the game like that. We want to keep on having murderous dreams. We want to keep living in fear. See, the fear is not a problem, just when there's willingness to see. Just when there's willingness to see that it has no justification. It can't be justified. Let me see. Each of us knows this innately. It's just veiled over. It's just a veil of thought, veils of thought. Each of us knows that we're invulnerable, eternal, innocent, joyful. The rest is a pretense. It's an unconscious pretense. And there's nothing wrong with what's pretending. It's just there for the experience. It's just there to be experienced. Your attention is your love. It's where you put your attention that makes all the difference. Maybe even not where, but how. Like, how? Is the attention going toward facts? Like, I know all these facts. These facts tell me that since I don't know, this happened in so many other cities. Whenever they get a new shopping center, this happened in so many other cities. Oh my God, this is what's going to happen to us. Facts. We get to experience whatever we want. Okay, so if we believe in facts, we get to experience manifestations of facts. As if, oh, yep, I was right. That's what happens. Every time, that's what happens. Not everyone is having the same experience as you are. Every single experience is subjective. There's only one of us having countless experiences at the same time. And that includes all time, because there's no time, let's say in this instant. In this instant, all time is being experienced. All time and all place. By one. The minuscule perception experience is meaningless in the scope of the whole. It's totally meaningless. Whatever ideas we have, whatever conditioning, whatever, trying to get out of something. One man asked me yesterday in Wisdom Dialogues in person, I don't make eye contact with people. Why don't I make eye contact with people? And immediately what came out without any kind of thought or anything is just, you're afraid of meeting yourself. Don't look there. And I shared that sometimes, I remember that, not sometimes, I remember looking at people and realizing I wasn't making eye contact some years ago, and just watching as I would interact with people where the gaze of my eyes would fall. And it was just above their eyes, like to the eyebrow area. It was just above. And realizing that felt scary to just go down a little bit to the eye. That felt really scary. And it was like, whoa, and just experiencing that fear. And eventually it's like, oh, that's not so scary. It's just natural now. And it's lovely. Thank you so much to all of you who connect with me like that. That is so sweet. And you know what? To anyone who doesn't, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just open for it. That's all. That's all. There's just a space for it. There's a willingness to put the gaze there instead of somewhere that's less scary. See? And then one of the participants told me that this was a female thing, that only a female would be concerned about something like this. And, of course, there's no such thing as female. No such thing as female. And, no one has to make eye contact if they don't want to. But you know why you're not looking. Okay? No one has to tell you that. You know. There might be some barriers set up, like one of them is that's a female thing. Only a female would be concerned about something like this. I'm in a male body. And since I am in a male body, I do things different. That's what I learned from scientists doing tests, that I do things different since I'm in a male body. So I don't really need to make eye contact. Well, no one does. It's not a big deal. Just in watching yourself, it's just fun. What's, when there's any kind of fear, what's afraid? What's setting up a defense? Oh, I'm a male. We don't do stuff like that. What's setting up a defense? Why? Why would a defense be necessary? Why would any defense be necessary? If it's just natural to not look in the eyes, then what's the problem? You shouldn't need any defense for that. See that? So it's like, oh, there's a reason why I don't do that. Now you got a reason to not go there. Okay. It's cool. Well, however people want to do it is good. No one says that you have to make eye contact. For many people, there comes a point in time where they notice, I would like to make eye contact. And I notice that I don't do that. Hooray! And then once that's noticed, guess what's coming next? As long as there's not resistance to it. It could take a really long time as there's an identification as I am someone who has to make myself make eye contact. No, it's not like that. Where there's a motivation toward it, it's just going to occur. No one even has to do anything about it or can do anything about it. Okay. So hooray! Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone who corresponds with me. Thank you for questions. Thank you for coming on and raising your hand when you have questions and you'd like to speak with me. Yay. So I don't see any more questions or any hands unless anyone comes on and wants to have some dialogue with me. I am going to just give some information. And if anything else comes up, I'll be sure to share it. So one of them is wisdomdialogues.org. That's where you can go to get my videos. And it's also on SoundCloud. It's also on SoundCloud and what else? iTunes. You can look for Wisdom Dialogues on those. I'm not sure of the address. And then if you'd like to join me here and talk with me, you can go to facebook.com/groups/Wisdom Dialogues, and the invitations are there. Every week they're posted. They have a link, and it'd be super fun to connect with you like that. Thank you. Wisdom Dialogues is sponsored by Miracle Botanicals. That's our lovely essential oil line. We source the finest essential oils from all over the world, and we bring them to our lovely customers and friends. So check us out. miraclebotanicals.com. Woo! If you have any questions, send me an email. hope@miraclebotanicals.com. I'm here every Tuesday at 4 p.m., approximately 4 to 5, sometimes 4 to 5:30, depending on what happens. That's Hawaii time. Thank you so much for joining. I love you. Have a beautiful week. Ahui ho.